Hey guys, Omni here. So I wanted to check out a Screen Rant video. Obviously, if you've been around the channel for a little while, you probably can already assume which one it's going to be. Of course, they dropped a pitch meeting for Jungle Cruise. So while theaters are still releasing movies, which may change in the next couple of weeks or so as news comes along, we're all getting signs that a couple movies that were planned on being dropped are now kind of waving away their current release dates. So who knows? But a film that's out right now that you can check out at home or in the theater is, of course, Jungle Cruise. I gave a review on the film itself. Very mixed. I had a fun time with it. Obviously, it was quite derivative of a couple things that we've seen before. And yeah, it didn't work in all ways, but it was still an enjoyable little watch. That's all I gotta say. So I figured also, I'm very curious to see what Ryan George finds to pick apart in this lovely little film. Let's go ahead and let's dive in.
So, you have a movie for me?
Yes, sir, I do. So you remember how Disney used to make a bunch of money off the Pirates of the Caribbean movies?
Yeah, I do.
Well, I figure it's about time we try to recapture that magic.
Oh, we rebooting Pirates already?
Well, yeah, obviously we're going to be doing that extremely soon, but I was thinking we could make
Well-
another movie based on another theme park ride.
Oh, even though we've tried that a couple of times and it's turned out horribly, that sounds like a great idea. So which ride should we do a movie about?
Jungle Cruise.
Oh, you just said the word oh, hold on, I'm gonna have to take a phone call. Okay, hello?
What's going on?
Yes, yeah, no, absolutely. You can be, the movie's yours.
The
it
Rock.
always is, okay? So yeah, congrats on the movie.
What was that about?
It's Dwayne Johnson. He's got eyes and ears everywhere, and at the mere mention of a jungle in the movie, he's all over it.
Jungles,
Why?
skyscrapers.
Nobody knows why, but he's very aggressive about it. He's got to be in jungle movies.
Well, what about the Jungle Book?
My
He wasn't
favorite
in
one's
that.
The
No, He thinks
Rundown.
he was.
What?
He thinks he was the
Of
voice
his.
of Baloo.
That was Bill Murray.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was Dwayne Johnson.
Okay, it's not like he can sue you or anything, though.
No, but he'll raise an eyebrow at me, and I don't like how that makes me feel.
Okay, anyway, this movie takes place during World War I, right? And we're gonna meet this botanist lady named Lily.
Right.
And she wants to get these petals from this mythical South American tree because she can then use those to save thousands of lives.
Anaconda
And so
too.
along with her brother McGregor, they go to South America and hire this guy Frank to guide them.
So a scientist lady and her brother hire a guy to guide them towards a mythical thing? That sounds kind of like The Mummy.
It's kind of like The Mummy, except, hey, shut up. No, it's not.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is its own thing.
I mean, other than the fact that it's also based on a ride like Pirates of the Caribbean.
I mean, yeah, but that's the only way it's like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Sure, sure.
And, you know, also in that one of the main characters is a captain, and most of the movie takes place on water.
Gotcha.
And that there's a big wacky escape scene near the beginning where they get onto the boat and head out to the adventure.
Uh-huh.
And that there's an undead bad guy who wants revenge on the captain.
Right. Okay,
Wow,
Said bad
okay,
guys
that's
been
way
cursed
more than
along with this
observations that
crew
I
and
met.
They can't die.
sure. Yeah, all right. That's pirates, all right.
And that this guy and his
Uh.
crew have been cursed for so long that they've kind of merged with their environment.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's just like Davy Jones's crew.
Well, see, they merged with ocean stuff. These guys are going to merge with jungle stuff, so it is pretty different.
Is it?
But other than that, this has nothing in common with the Pirates movies. Nothing.
All right, man. I mean, all right,
Except
okay.
a shit ton.
And also, there's a twist where you find out that the fun captain guy is also cursed and undead.
Okay, kind of a lot of parallels.
Nope.
Oh
so
my
anyway, we're
God,
gonna
way
meet this
more than I
evil German
remembered.
Prince guy, and he also wants to find this magical tree.
Why?
Evil purposes.
Oh no!
And so he goes and uncovers these cursed conquistadors who have like turned to stone in the jungle, and he releases them.
Oh, releasing cursed conquistadors is tight.
Okay, kind of weird that you already had an opinion on that. Well, so basically Lily and McGregor and this guy Frank have to go down this super dangerous river while being chased by an evil German guy and these evil pirates. Oh, dang it, no, not pirates.
What kind of stuff are they gonna get up to?
Oh, Lily's gonna keep bringing out this film camera and filming stuff with it, making little films.
That's nice.
Yeah, she's gonna talk about how film has the power to capture real moments, you know, but also that it can't compare to the real thing, you know, the real rainforest.
That's a very nice sentiment. Just to be clear, though, this is all gonna be CGI on green screen, okay?
Oh, we can't get any shots of the real rainforest?
No, that's on fire.
Right, of course.
So what else happens?
Well, at a certain point, they're gonna get attacked by
Yeah.
these cursed guys, right? And it's gonna get really intense, this big fight scene.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the main guy's face is gonna split split open and snakes are gonna come out of his weird, decomposing, dead skull?
Oh my god, that's extremely disturbing.
Well, sir, we gotta give children some nightmares, or what are we even doing here?
That's a good point. Wait, no, what?
And there's this other guy that's made of bees, and he's gonna get, like, shot in the face, and it's not gonna do anything to him.
Oh man, it's gonna be tough to take that guy out.
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody hits him with a golf club, and so, you know, that does the trick. How come a club works, but a gun didn't?
Unclear.
So then in the middle of that fight, Frank is gonna get stabbed and fall from super high up. Oh no.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
But so later, he's gonna be fine, and so Lily and McGregor are like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm cursed.
So what does that mean?
Well, it turns out his real name is Francisco, and he's about 400 years old, and he was part of that Spanish crew that got cursed.
Oh.
And so this curse says that they can never leave sight of the river, and so that's why Frank has been living in this little town.
A very intense curse. Oh, so do we need to get Dwayne Johnson to do a Spanish accent or something?
No, we'll just go with the idea that he learned perfect American English while only living by this river in South America.
And then nobody around the town noticed that the hugely muscular man never aged for several centuries.
Exactly.
That works for me.
So Frank actually trapped those other guys in the jungle, because even though they were close like brothers, they kind of went crazy and killed people, so he stood up to them.
Gotcha. So how does Lily react to finding out that Frank is
weren't
actually
two
a
of them actually
400-year-old
brothers?
Spanish guy?
Well, she's like, let's break the curse, and then you could come back to London with me. And he's like, no, I'd rather die.
Oh, savage.
No, but it's kind of like in an endearing way, like he's lived so long, he's just like, you know?
Oh, a very jellical motivation.
So later they're gonna find out where this tree's supposed to be, and Lily's gonna have to swim, only she doesn't know how to.
Oh boy.
And she's gonna get trapped underwater, so Frank's gonna keep exhaling into her mouth to stop her from drowning.
So part of the curse is that he exhales oxygen? Sure, yeah, I don't care.
Okay. And so then they're gonna find the magical tree, but so do all the bad guys, so there's gonna be this big crazy fight.
Oh boy.
And so then Frank realizes that if he blocks off the
Gotta wish
access
the
to the
CGI
river,
on
then
the
he and
enemies
the
were
other
so
cursed
much
bad
better.
guys will turn to stone, and Lily will be able to escape with the pedal.
Ah, he's gonna sacrifice himself.
Yeah, and the other guys are like, please don't do this. This is a fate worse than death. This is like torture for eternity. Please don't do this.
Oh my god.
But then Frank does it anyway, so he turns into a rock.
Dwayne Johnson does that, huh? That's kind of funny.
Why is that funny?
Because, you know, the whole wrestling name thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No. And so then Lily uses the magic pedal to save Frank's life and bring him back from the curse.
So is she gonna use that for research and help save thousands of lives?
She was, yeah.
But instead she uses it to save a 400-year-old
Yeah, I thought
guy
that was
who kept
weird.
talking about how much he doesn't want to be alive?
That's right.
That's okay.
But don't worry, sir. After she saves them, another pedal pops out, so she can do all that life-saving research anyway.
She didn't know that was gonna happen, though.
But it's gonna.
Fair enough. So did they do the right thing and break the curse for the other guys, too?
No, he leaves them to a fate worse than death for all eternity.
I mean, they could at least break the curse so they can die.
Yeah, but no, instead he leaves them to a fate worse than death for all eternity.
Oh, very harsh.
Yeah, anyway, so then we get to see Dwayne Johnson wear a little top hat.
That is something I really want to see now that you mention it.
Same here, and so then the movie is over. What do you think?
Oh, it sounds like a big fun adventure movie, you know?
Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah.
something that was made for the big screen.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey everybody, Ryan here.
I think that's one of the
Hope you enjoyed that
reasons,
video.
like,
And if you
I enjoyed it more than I actually did. Or not more than I actually did. It's probably one of the saving graces for the film for me was that I watched it at the theater. Because, you know, it does add to the spectacle. It make, you know, the sound design, the large screen and all that does add to the effect. I do feel like I would have been way harder in the movie if I had watched it at home. Because like I did have fun with it, and my God, they pointed out a lot more similarities than I actually made when I was watching it. Because obviously, you know, Lily and her brother mimic Evie and Jonathan, and of course, Brendan Fraser parallels with The Rock in this. And, you know, the whole adventure, the whole clue, the whole, you know, woman researcher who's not taken seriously. It's like the same story and the same beats. And then, like I said in my review, it's like they kind of took like a lot of the elements. And did I say it, or was that part of it that I cut out? I can't remember at this point. But anyway, there was a lot of elements. Yeah, that was like, there's a lot of elements that they feel like they were like, well, this worked with pirates, so let's shove it in here. Because they could have had a fun, like, National Treasure kind of Indiana Jones ride through it had they like left a lot of the supernatural bits out of it. because like yeah, once you had the reveals, obviously of the Rock's curse as well as his origin, having been there with the conquistadors to Aguirre, all the way back when they first came there trying to find the petals themselves. Yeah, it was very, very Black Pearly. But yeah, he pointed out way more than I thought. It was like way more derivative of other things than I actually was thinking while I was like watching the thing. Like obviously the first things that came to mind for me was the Mummy, because like there are too many like early not even references, like parallels to that film. And then obviously the next easy comparison to make would be the other huge ride themed Disney film franchise, Pirates. I didn't even think about like the ties to Dead Man's Chest, where Davy Jones and his crew, his undying crew, were, they start off normal, but the more they're part of the sea, the more they become things of the sea. That's why you had like shark people, crab people, coral people, with brine and all kinds of stuff just growing on them as they're becoming more and more in tune with the sea, which is what happened to them, because obviously in a lot of the flashbacks, they were still conquistadors, they were still humanoid, but the longer they were out there, the more they started to become part of the forest. And I think that it worked a little bit better with like the designs or whatever, like if there's a little more love and time put into the CGI on them, because they just, unlike the Pirates films, while there is a lot of CGI in them, there wasn't a whole lot. Like there was always a lot of attention put into it and a lot of detail put into it, so it always looked really good, especially for the time. And I would still say like Davy Jones still like holds up to this day, but it was hard to. While he mentioned it was like, yeah, the effects on some of these guys, like his face splitting open and snakes pouring out of him, while that is kind of horrific, and I did think that was, God, this is kind of morbid, because you can see the snakes like under the translucent layer of skin in him. Like you could see each of the collars of the snake beneath his skin, like writhing around, and his skin's always moving. Like it would be next level nightmare fuel, I think, if they actually spent more time making it look real, because it did have this saturated miscoloration that just made it look fakey. Like there's that Jar Jar Binks kind of CGI where it just doesn't necessarily blend in with everything. And then obviously with them not being able to shoot on location, with a lot of the green screen effects, like of where they are, the locations, the sets and stuff like that, some of the compositing does look a little off or jarring sometimes. And I mean, on top of all that too, the plot itself is very much a cliche and a trope in Hollywood all the way up until this point. Like the initial one that always comes to mind for me whenever I first think about this, because it's one of the first ones I remember seeing, was Anaconda 2, Hunt for the Blood Orchid. Similar things. We see a lot of things in not just film, but a lot of media in general, where we kind of have this, because a lot of really powerful and medical discoveries have been made in the Amazon. There's always been this kind of like trope or cliche or this story that surrounds the expedition into the deepest recesses of the Amazon to discover a miracle cure-all that is usually in the form of a flower. We've seen it quite often in a lot of different things. So in that in of itself, the main plot thread of the film is also not that original to begin with either. But then again, I don't really expect a whole lot out of it, because they are kind of basing the story around building up this story around a ride. And yeah, there's a lot of things that I think, as far as creatively, could have vastly improved the film, or also at the same time held it back quite a bit. I still had fun with it, man. Like, because I just didn't expect to have to think too much about it. It was fun. It was fun. Just turn your brain off. Fun. Even though I didn't buy the chemistry and the characters, I thought Jack Whitehall and Jesse Plemons were the two that I gravitated the most as far as their performances on screen. The Rock and Emily Blunt were serviceable in this. I just don't really feel like they were too into the movie that they were part of, But it was still a fun little flick. That's all I gotta say. And maybe I thought it was fun in the ways that it reminded me of The Mummy and Pirates, but I don't know. But yeah, I was definitely like laughing at it quite a few times. It does get ridiculous. It is, but what can you expect, man? It's a it is what it is. And I still had fun when I was watching it. So I definitely feel like if you watched it on the bigger screen, you would probably get more of a benefit out of it. And apparently just my criticisms of it whatsoever got got some people into a little bit of a stir. But it's whatever, man. It is what it is, and that's all that it is. But guys, what did you think of Jungle Cruise? What did you think of Ryan George's pitch meeting for the film? Sound off the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you like this, support the channel by liking, commenting, subscribing. We do these every once in a while. We cover a bunch of TV shows here on the channel. I try to review as many movies as I can catch throughout the week. And yeah, if you want to join our Discord channel or follow me on all my socials where we talk about all kinds of different stuff, movies, TV, film, anime, video games, what have you, DC, Marvel, all that jazz, everything popular for the most part, because I'm into most of it. Come join me there. Links to all that's in the description of this video. Before you go, I want to shout out our channel legends, Mandy Share, Ryan Karen, Jason Coleman, and Philly Vane. Thank you guys, as always, for your support. But that is it for this video, guys, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.